really fortunate. People on the spectrum, there are people on there that do not have the kind of support.
I know,
give.
and I feel for those people, and even with getting services and having someone advocate for the services, or teaching other parents how to navigate the system, because not everyone's able to get in there and dig around and fight for the help they need. And that's what it is. When you're trying to create interventions and get someone the services, you got to fight for it. Yeah. That's not easy. They're not just coming and saying, okay, so what services here we'll recommend this. It's the opposite. You are fighting for the services.
My mom, she had 2 kids at home. She was working full time. And
Abby, she's wet. It's not that bad, but
she kept barking, so I had to let her
I understand, but you got her all wet and then you let her in the house, so we're not going to do that, okay? Too late. Smelly wet dog in the house now. Okay.
Yeah.
Cleans. She wants to be part of the
She's
action.
Like,
yeah.
Just looks away.
But yeah.
My mom had a full-time job, a small business, 2 kids, Indian wife running the house. And here she is out there in the schools fighting tooth and nail for every single thing my brother got. But he is really, people give me credit. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
My mom deserves all the credit for what he is now.
It's crazy how much fighting you do. I remember one time Abby was at the local elementary school, and the school wouldn't sign off on the services for the summer. And I said to the principal, I'm not leaving until you sign this, because you're going to be closed next Tuesday. And they said, we'll be right with you, which meant we're not going to see you. So I said, okay, well, if you're not out here in an hour, I'm going to lay down on the countertop, and it's called a sit-in, and until the police remove me from this office, I'm not leaving. So you might want to know that. And I sat down on the bench. I sat down on the bench in the little office, and I remember saying, 15 minutes till I get on the counter, which is the counter where you come in and just talk to them. But I think about doing those things. I sued the school district twice and won both times for services that I was entitled to that they wouldn't provide. Broke my heart. Why? Because here I am at her school trying to get the services she's entitled to, and here I am at Ben's school raising money at the bake sale so they can have art supplies. At his school, they went to 2 different schools.
Yeah.
And you see what I mean? Like, it wasn't that I was trying to be a jerk about it. I'm like, guys, get it together. She's entitled to speech.
Yeah.
You didn't give it to her.
So it's important to share these stories so that things can hopefully get better.
Yeah.
And passionate people that work in the system can help make things better.
I know.
I hope that kids today don't have the experience that my brother had, because he had a very tough... There was one teacher that changed his life named Miss Hull at Kennedy Elementary. She was so passionate about working with kids with special needs. She loved my brother so much. She is just one of the most remarkable people I've ever met. She's amazing.
What's her name?
Miss Karen Hull.
Karen Hull.
Yes.
Karen, we love you.
Love you.
See, it's those teachers that go the extra mile, or teachers that collaborate with parents. When Abby was in preschool, we had a teacher who was so awful. Not only did she cause Abby trauma, you know what she did? Because she had an aide in preschool, she lined up all the girls, and then she lined up all the boys, and then she lined up Abby at the end of the boy line with her aide. And do you know, to this day, she still makes reference to that in terms of thinking in memories. When she feels isolated and alone, she says, that's Miss Beverly's class.
Oh my God.
That's nursery school, and it still breaks my heart. Had I known, well, I didn't know it was happening, of course. I might want to disclaim it. Abby didn't have the language to tell me what was going on. The teacher was out sick. And so the sub told me what was going on, and that she was told to line up at the end. Isn't that awful? Because, I mean, that's just not okay.
It's dehumanizing.
It was very dehumanizing, and she was smart enough to know and to take it in. But the good news is that teacher was fired. No, seriously, I even wrote her a little note saying, I'm so sorry if you feel that in any way we've, overstepped a boundary and da-da-da-da, and I'm just trying to work with you about Abby's needs, and here's what, because I was trying to work with the teacher to tell her what Abby needed and just to give her some knowledge. And the teacher just wanted to say, this is my class, I'll run it my way. Yeah. Parents, get out of my back. She took the letter that I had handwritten her, looked at the letter and just crumpled it up, threw it on the ground, and walked away. My letter of trying to connect
stuff.
Well, that's why she got let go, because I went right to the principal's office of the preschool and just told her I was crying, I was hysterical, like what am I supposed to do? You just don't do that to a parent with
And there's
special.
a million stories like that.
Yeah.
There was a teacher my brother had at one of the worst. I mean, the school district we were in was great. One of the worst schools, elementary schools in the district. There was a teacher who could not handle him. She was not a special ed teacher, and he was very disruptive. He was like 7. I mean, he was a child, but very disruptive. Not listening. All these different things. And this was documented by different people. That apparently she grabbed him by the neck and put him against the wall to shut him up. And someone told my parents, and my mom blew a gasket. She lost her mind, as she should.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous thing to do to a child.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's a million stories, unfortunately,
I know.
like that.
And
you
then
know?
there's a million stories of people like Miss Hull.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank God.
we're going
Thank
to
God for
focus
these
on the good
amazing
ones. We're going to
teachers.
focus on
Yes.
the life-changing ones.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, listen, it was awesome to chat with you. What else can we talk about? This, I could sit here and talk to you all
I
night.
know. I could talk about
This is
anything.
just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We'll do this next week too.
Yeah.